Welcome to Local SEO in 10. This is your go-to podcast for answers about how you can grow your local business online, easily and quickly. Brought to you by local SEO experts, Magnified Media in Walnut Creek, California. In each 10-minute episode, our digital marketing expert, Adam Duran, answers your questions on how you can get more leads for your business fast. Remember, if you're not taking care of this part of your business right now, you can bet your competitors are. And now, here's our host with the questions, Jamie Duran, and our expert with the answers, Adam Duran.
Hello, Adam.
Whoa, hey, Jamie.
How's your week going?
It's going good. A little rainy here in Northern California, but it'll be sunny and hot in no time, I think.
Well, next week will be more rain, so that means more snow.
All right, for you. Yay.
Hooray. Yes.
Yay.
Looking forward to it.
Oh, boy. That's amazing. I'm just glad you're not getting hurt. I hope I didn't just jinx you. Oh, boy. Be safe, Jamie.
Now I have a helmet. And before, I never had a helmet. So now I can fall on my head. No problem. As long as I don't fall face forward. Then it's a problem.
Okay.
Yeah.
Couldn't spend the extra $20 on a face one, huh?
They don't make those for skiers. So, yeah, interesting.
Okay.
All right. Welcome to Ski Talk with Adam.
Thank you. Today, actually, Jamie, I want to start a series on the most common problems we see when we take over a new client from maybe they had another agency or another, obviously a web designer who made their site. What are the first big problems that we always see and then we always take care of? So maybe out there, someone can hear this episode and stop making these problems. Oh boy. Ugh.
Unlikely. Go ahead. Is that the end of the podcast?
Unlikely. No. If you are listening to this podcast, thank you. And you will get some, this is first, one of the most important ranking factors that we see is something called schema. Now, schema, if you didn't know, it's the language that is on the back end of your website. So humans generally don't see these unless you're looking for them. But schema, what it is a way that all of the search engines, so not just Google, but Bing and Ask Jeeves and DuckDuckGo, they all actually decided to depend on years and years ago, because what schema does, it speaks directly to search engines so they don't have to index your site and try and figure out what your business does. So it's a great way. It's a language that has all been decided, agreed upon. So we use it to directly tell Google what our business does and a ton of other information about our business. So that way we can rank better and rank higher. Okay.
Yep.
All right. So most website designers, they depend on a plugin for this. And the most popular one is called Yoast. And what Yoast does, it's a plugin on your WordPress site that you install it, you answer some questions, and then it automatically, in quotes, puts up schema on your website. And most of the time that schema is really bad because the designer who did it, who put it on your site, makes mistakes with it or doesn't know really how to use it or configures it completely wrong, puts in their own information instead of the business information, puts in wrong phone numbers, puts in information that has nothing to do with the business. And so that does negatively affect the ranking of the site. And all of what I just explained, we've seen ad infinitum. I mean, it's crazy the kind of stuff we've seen in schema that a designer's put in through Yoast that no one sees. And we're like, hey, why is your home address here, business owner? And they're like, wait, what do you mean? And yeah, you must be getting a lot of crazy mail. And yeah, they have been. So that's not very good, obviously. So luckily, Jamie, guess what we have?
You could put their social security number on the schema.
You could if you knew it.
Oh, okay.
Please don't. But don't do that. But what I was trying to get at is now we have AI, ChatGPT, or we have these AI systems that will help you as a business owner create proper schema that looks wonderful. Okay. And that answers almost every potential question a potential customer could have about your business. and what Google and those search engines need to know about your business to help it rank higher and reach the people that you want it to reach. So a great first thing that we always do now is we go to ChatGPT and we say, hey, we are a local certified public accountant. Here's what we do. And we can copy the about page and our services into that direction for ChatGPT. And then we can say, okay, ChatGPT, please create the best local schema for us. And then ChatGPT will first, it's going to put out a bunch of code. Now, at that point, you as a newbie to all this, you might be blown away. Oh my God, that's so great. Now, before you do anything, in the show notes, we're going to put we'll put all the AI stuff that you need. Then we'll put the links to the other stuff that you're going to need that I'll talk about. So now you're going to copy that code that ChatGPT just gave you, that schema, right, Jamie?
Yep.
Follow me so far?
Yep.
Copy that. You're going to go to something called the schema validator, and you're going to click into that. You can search for Google on that if you want, and you're going to drop in that code, and you're going to press validate. And that system, that validator is going to say bad, mistake, error. And when it does, you can copy that error, drop it back into ChatGPT and say, hey, the schema validator said there's an error here, fix it. And it will fix it. It's pretty cool. It'll go, oh, sorry, my bad. And then it'll rewrite the schema. You'll do that again, drop it back into that validator. That hopefully that error will be taken care of. And you can refine your schema in that way. And you can always ask ChatGPT, hey, make it more detailed, make it better. ChatGPT, you also want to obviously ask, hey, make sure you let me know if you need something from me in order to make it better. Like, of course, maybe it doesn't know your phone number. It might not know your longitude and latitude. So you might have to go do a little search for how to find the longitude and latitude of your business address. It might not understand the services that you do. It might not understand the costs that you charge. These kind of things, all that. Yeah.
You don't. So how does it call itself AI then if it doesn't know all this? It's supposed to be.
Well, it is
to know
doing.
Who I am.
Well, Jamie, before this, I mean, we had to write all this schema out. I mean, it was, yeah. We had a cheat sheet, kind of like a template that we used, and had to plug in stuff and hope, and then plug in stuff, and then it worked most of the time. But oh boy, if one semicolon is out of place, error. If one, if the quotation mark is a smart quotation mark, error. How do you supposed to, I mean, these kind of things, it can make your eyes go cross-eyed pretty fast. So with this AI though, you can, with ChatGPT and the prompts we give you, you'll be able to create that schema. Now, once you pass through all that validation, you've done all that, your schema looks very robust. It's probably 200, 300 lines of code. And you've done that validator. Now, if you're using WordPress, you're going to search for a plugin. It's called the HFCM. That stands for Header Footer Code Manager. Wow. This is a free plugin you're going to need. And what this does, it allows you to inject this code into the header, kind of like the invisible part of the top end of every web page on your site. You can drop that code into that plugin once it's installed on your site, and then you just press save, and now that schema will be exactly where it needs to be throughout your site, and it'll be there. Then you can go back to that schema validator, and now you can drop in your homepage of your website and make sure it comes out correctly without errors again.
Beautiful.
There you go. I can't tell you how this we have to do every client, virtually every client. There has not been a client in the last 10 years that we have not had to redo their schema. It's either, like I said, full of wrong information, validation errors, it's non-existent. I mean, the gamut has been wide, but this is the number one first thing we do on every website. It is pretty crazy.
It sounds crazy, sounds exhausting. And you said this is a series, right?
Yes. So the next few one will, it's not going to be on Schema, of course. We're going to do the other problems that we see, but this is one that if you're going to look at the show notes, you're going to understand this. And when you do this, this is something people in my industry love. When you come upon a site has proper schema on it, especially for a local business, you're like, oh, wow, that's a work of art, maybe. Because it's so weird, but yes, it is that important. And when you do it, when you do it well, total ranking factor. And
Nice.
it is something that, it's part of every website we check. It is always done wrong. So if you have your website already done, you can just go through, you can kind of start with that schema validator, drop in your website into that schema validator, and it'll show you your schema. And if it's tells you that the schema says you're a website, great. That's not enough, because obviously if you're a local business, you want to say you're a local business. If you're an organization, you want to say you're an organization. All these kind of things, very important for that search engine to know, and right away. So all of these things save that search engine time, because it doesn't have to try and figure out what you do. Mm-hmm. It just knows already because you've already told it. Boom.
All right.
Easy.
Yeah, that sounds like a good first step. And then going back and listen to this podcast 2 or 3 more times to get all those steps.
It's so easy. What do you mean?
Well, you described like 10 different steps. How's everyone supposed to follow that? Right? If they're in a car
check the show notes.
Check
the show notes.
Hopefully no one crashed trying to listen to all that. But no, yeah, I'm sure you'll have it in the show notes.
Oh, no.
All right. No YouTube? All right. No,
not yet. No. Show notes, baby.
All right. Well, that's very good. Lots and lots of information. And how many parts of the series, Adam?
So far, 3.
3. So probably 6. So
yeah.
All right. Well,
I can't count. That's
we
the
have.
Title of the,
well, it'll grow, I'm sure, as you
the title of the podcast: Local SEO and how many? 10-ish. There you go.
So 10 sessions. Nice. All right. Yeah. I'm just wondering how many. You got to subscribe for 10 more episodes at least. Yeah.
At least.
All right. Wrapping it up there.
Yes.
All right. Thanks, Adam. That's really good information. Wow. That's frightening, because if you said almost every website you come across has a bad schema, I don't know how Google finds anything. One day their AI will be able to figure all this out for us and correct the schema. Wouldn't that be nice? In any event, with that, we will talk to you next week. If you like this podcast, or you know another business owner with a website, forward this podcast over to them, and hopefully they will get a lot out of it, just as you are. And then if you like this show, please give us 5 stars wherever you're listening to it. Go to our go to our webpage, magnifiedmedia.net, and chances are you have some questions about this process. And if you put in the search term schema, probably 10 podcasts will come up that you can listen to. I know I definitely recognize that word. And if you have any questions about that, go to our LinkedIn or Facebook page, send us a message, and we will try to include that in the next session in the series of 10 more episodes of getting your website found. All right, Adam, have a great week. We'll talk to you next time.
That's all for now. Thanks for listening to this episode of Local SEO in 10 with Google local marketing expert Adam Duran. Join us each week for answers to your questions on how to best harness the power of the internet to grow your business. Speaking of questions, got some? Message us through our Facebook page, Local SEO in 10, and we'll be sure to give you your answer on an upcoming episode. This episode of Local SEO in 10 is brought to you by Magnified Media, the leading online marketing agency in Northern California, who invite you to grow your business by magnifying your online visibility and credibility. Visit them on the web at www.magnifiedmedia.com. Magnify your business, magnify your profits.